What's good with y'all, man? It's CTAZ, and today I'll be dropping a tutorial on how I run my 2-3 zone blitz defense. But before we get into the video, please consider dropping a like, as it takes me a while to make these. And if you're new to the channel and enjoy PlayNow Online content, please consider smashing that subscribe button, as we're on the road to 1100 subs. It's completely free and it'll mean the world to me. And lastly, if you want to get to know me, see me play live on Twitch, make sure you get there. I'll leave the link down below. Now without further ado, y'all, let's get right into it. Alright y'all, so if you haven't tapped into my old tutorial from 2K21 in terms of this defense, it's really similar to last year. Obviously it's a little slightly different because of how the gameplay is this year and how it's slower, but the main principle that you want to keep in mind is you got to be able to apply crazy pressure the entire time and know all your icons and know how to switch into your icons. And if you don't know which player is what icon, go tap back into the other tutorial because I really went into depth in there. But yeah, without further ado, now let's get into the settings of how to set this up. Alright y'all, so first things first is you want to go to game plan. Before the game starts, before the tip off, pause the game. The only two things you're going to touch are right here, these two tabs, defensive settings and coaching sliders. So once you get into defensive settings, all you got to do is tap R1 and it'll go to your, the other team's players. And the only two players or three, depending on the other team, depending on their lineup, that you need to apply extend pressure on are their two guards, the primary ball handlers, the 1 and 2. And if you're going up against like the Lakers or the Bucks, I would do the 1 and 2 and Giannis or LeBron for that example. Next is coaching sliders. You want to turn help defense all the way to 0 because this zone tends to help. And I don't know if this is a placebo effect or not, but I like just to know that I have 0 help defense set so that, if there's any fluke animations, hopefully it doesn't happen. All right, so going back to the main principle of this defense is applying pressure. Now if we look, right, this is literally off the tip right here. He won the tip, and as you see, because we have extend pressure applied to Westbrook, the guy who's on his side, whichever side Westbrook is on, if he's on Lonzo's side, he's gonna come up and apply pressure. With that being said though, your two guards up top on the zone, your 1 and 2 guards, their job is to just apply pressure. The wings, the guys in the two corners, their jobs are to steal the ball and to get into the passing lane. So I'll kind of break this first possession down. I'm already getting bumpy, as you guys can see, because of that extend pressure turned on. Now he's dribbling towards the right side. Automatically the CPU, your AI, is set to let him go, and now your two guards, since this is his primary zone, your two guards now has to come up. And so as you can see, I'm already switched onto Derozan, and I'm switching up and to just speed him up. Basically, now that I see this happening, right, most oftentimes you just got to think 1 step ahead or 2 steps ahead. And now he's probably looking to pass, and right here he has two guys, and right here he has LeBron. I switched here because I didn't want LeBron to get the ball, and I switched to my 4, which is Pat Williams, to try and steal that lane. And as I see he's dribbling this way, now I switch to Lavine and I try to get this pass lane. It looks like he could get there, right, but he's not going to get that. So we're out of play. Now that we're in the half court, you really just want to switch to the opposite side. If the ball's on the left side, you want to be able to switch onto these two guys, your 2 and your 4, and just play the passing lane, right? I'm already switching to Derozan and I'm trying to get there. I'm not there. I jump though in case he shoots, and now I switch to Lonzo and I switch to Lavine. As you guys see, I'm switching to the opposite side every time. When you're in the half court, this is how you want to run it, and we're gonna kind of let this play out, right? So if he wants to kind of paint sit and try and draw the defense in, you got to use your 4 guys on the outside and just really play passing lanes at this point, right? See right here, as I switch to Derozan, I switch to Lonzo, I switch back to Derozan, I'm there. Right here, I like to do this on a middle drive where I try and get a bump steal. However, we didn't get it, so I switched to Lavine because I see all of his teammates are right here, and I try to play the passing lane. I should have probably taken a step back here because I was too close to LeBron and I wasn't close enough to Westbrook. But at the end of the day, it's Westbrook. What? You're willing to give that up if you're playing a team like the Lakers. All right, y'all, this is the next defensive possession when after we get a made basket. This goes back to the main principle again, apply pressure, right? So on a made basket, you want to always read where your opponent is, and you can always tell where he is because you can see his username under which player he's controlling, right? And he's on the left side, so I switch onto Lonzo and I sprint up the court because he's on Lonzo's primary zone. So right here, I like to do this sometimes. I won't do it every time, but I'll try to jump that initial pass, that inbound pass, with whoever I run up with and try and get the steal. However, we didn't get that there. Now I'm just applying pressure and switching icons. I see the closest man up is Derozan, and I try to bait him to throwing this pass. He doesn't throw it, and I step up with the next guy, which is Lavine, because this is Lavine's side of the zone, and I try to get there, right? Eventually those will become steals, but we didn't get that one. So now that we're in the half court situation, you're just trying to steal these passing lanes out by controlling the opposite two guys. Now that he's trying to paint sit, you just try to play the passing lanes and kind of just go crazy and switch icons like crazy. Close out. Right here, he's driving middle. I switch onto the weak side guard and I try to get this bump steal. Let's see if we get it. We do, and we're going the other way for an easy buggy, y'all. All right, and here again in this breakdown in this segment is another example of how we speed up our opponent, and then you turn them over and you're controlling them because you're playing at the speed you want, which is fast, right? So right here, I'm unsuccessful with this steal. He probably thought I was about to steal that pass, so he's already clicking X to make that next pass, and I switched to DeRozan. And right here, I was out of the position. I probably should have ran more that way instead of towards the ball. However, it's fine. We rotate up with Lavine, our 3 guard, our 3 wing. And as you can see right here, we're in the half court situation. So now we're switched onto the weak side guy, which is our weak side wing. And we're just trying to play that passing lane 2-on-1 again. And bam, we get a steal. We're going the other way for a leak out, bang out, easy to a DeRozan, y'all. All right, so right here, y'all, is another example of applying pressure. And with the guards up top, you always want to get bumpy and try to get bump steals, right? So right here, he's in DeRozan's primary zone. I switched to the weak side guard and try and get a bump steal right here. I didn't take a good angle at it. And this year, they will call this a little more often. So you got to be careful. It's not going to be as OD as it was last year, but it's still possible to get a bunch of bump steals. All right, so this is going to be a possession where I show you guys how I like to bait from my 2 corner wing defenders, right? Which is your 3 and your 4 wings. So right here, obviously nothing changes. You're still applying pressure. This is Lonzo, or your primary point guard's zone. So Lonzo should be sprinting up right now. So in this situation right here, I see that he has 2 offensive players right here, and he's about to use an on-ball screen from Dwight. So right here, like I said before, I like to try and get a bump steal right off of this. And if I'm unsuccessful right here, so he doesn't even use it, he swings it to this side of the court, which is where we're playing 2-on-1 now. I like to switch onto that wing guy and sprint up and look like I'm trying to steal that pass, but I know I'm not, because this year they run slower. So I stop about halfway, then backpedal and spam that square button and try to get that steal, and which we do right here, and we go in the other way on the fast break. All right, here's another example of y'all where we get our corner rotation or corner bait, whatever you want to call it, right? Still doing the same thing, applying pressure like crazy up the court. Now we're in the half court trying to guard the weak side, and as I see right here, 3 guys are in one side, 1 corner damn near. So I'm controlling Pat, and I get in the proper spot, and I'm in that lane, right, in that passing lane from whoever threw that ball to LeBron. I'm in there, and we're going the other way for the fast break again. All right, so here's an example where we do another corner bait, right? I'm still doing the same things, applying pressure, trying to get bump steals, or in the passing lanes with my 2 guards up top. We don't get any bump steals. I see that we're out of position now because DeRozan's completely thrown out of the play. In this situation, I see that I have 2 guys. Whenever there's 2 guys on 1 corner or 1 wing, you gotta take advantage and play 2-on-1, right? And right here, I run up. All you do is run up like 2 or 3 steps, and then backpedal just a little bit like he did right there, and then just tap square a couple times. And if he throws it, that's damn near gonna be a steal like 90% of the time. And right here, you see Vucevic, actually the AI is doing this for me, taking a charge, and we get a charge right here. And like, those are just turnovers that are unforced because you're just speeding him up, and again, applying pressure, which is our main principle. All right here is where all else fails, and you gotta rotate up with the center, right? When your guards are beat and he's not baited into throwing it to those corner baits or corner rotations that you're making, right here, we leave the middle of the zone wide open. And I typically do this, especially because I don't want to give up a 3 to Malik. I'd rather have LeBron trying to tag Lavine and Vucevic in this situation. So I switch to Pat Williams, and I hope he tries to throw that because I'm in the lane right here. However, he's not baited to throw it. Now, this is where you got to rotate up with your center and player icon switch to him and just try and get a stop right here by either blocking it or putting your hands up or taking a charge. Right here, I feel like this was a really weak foul, right? This should have been a block or a no call, and we should have been going the other way. However, nonetheless, this is fine. You live with this in that situation instead of giving up a 3 to Malik. Now we're going to show an example of how to rotate with the center if your bait from the corner is unsuccessful, right? So I'm gonna kind of let this play out, right? Everything's the same. I'm trying to jump this initial pass right here, unsuccessful. And right here, we're just doing what we do, right? So right here, I tried to jump that passing lane with Lavine, right? As you guys can see right here, I see 2 guys up here, so I try to jump this pass with Lavine, but it's too late. Now you're stuck in a bad situation, a bad spot where you leave that corner guy. So in this situation, I quickly switch to my 5, my center, and rotate out, and I just automatically either go for the steal or for a contest, depending how far he is, right? I went for the steal there, which is fine. And if you're out of position again, you just got to rotate again with the weak side wing, which is your 4 in this situation, and just play 2-on-1 and press square in that passing lane, right? And right here, we're fine. He doesn't throw it. He throws it to the other guard up top, and I switch to DeRozan. I jump, close out, and we get a full contested shot, and we're going the other way for an easy dunk, y'all. All right, so what happens now if you constantly apply pressure is you're going to force your opponent into taking quick shots, right? So right here, we're applying pressure. I'm trying to, bait him to throw into the corner. Right here, I bait from my wing guy. He doesn't throw, he doesn't bite. He's playing a little more patient now. And I do another bait from the wing, but as you guys can see, this is a deep shot. I mean, this is Wayne Ellington. Yeah, he's a good shooter, and maybe in 2K he is too, but this is a deep shot. You're willing to give up these kind of shots, unless, like I said, it's like the Warriors and you're playing the Splash Bros. You're willing to give this up to any opponent. And right off of a missed shot, you should already be sprinting out. As you see, I'm controlling Lonzo right here, and then I know I switch onto DeRozan because I'm sprinting the other way, and bam, we're going the other way. That's an easy 2 all game long. All right, here's another example of a quick shot. We force him into a quick shot and we leak out, right? My guards are doing their job in the half court. I see that he's driving middle. I switch to Lonzo and try to get a bump steal. As soon as I see he's not successful, I switch to my 3 wing and try to get a closeout, which we do. We force him into a 36. And as you guys can see, I'm throwing that ball straight down the court to Lonzo for an easy 2, y'all. All right, here again, we force our opponent into another quick shot, right? So this is off of a missed basket, so I'm trying to sprint back into defense, so I'm not really applying pressure here, but I see that 3 guys are on this side already, so I switch to my 4 wing and try to play the passing lane, right? And right here, I see that we're in the half court now, so I switch to my weak side too, and I try to do a little bait from him where I run and then go backwards. I feel like I was in the lane. I should have got that steal, but I'm already seeing that I don't get it, so I switch to Pat Williams and try and bait from the wing now from my 4 wing, run up, run back. He doesn't fall for the bait. However, this is another quick shot, y'all. He misses, and we're going other way for a leak out 2, y'all. All right, so the 2 biggest downfalls of running a zone this year, y'all, is because of how easy it is to shoot this year, you're gonna give up 3s. So you got to be selective with this. Be careful with what teams you want to run this against, and if your opponent really knows how to shoot the ball, this might not be a good defense to run this year. It's still runnable, but like I said, against teams that can shoot, you got to be careful with this. And secondly, the other thing that's tough about this, the downfall to this zone, is getting back in transition. It's tough to get back in, and just in general in any defense this year, and try and stop your opponent when he's on a fast break. And as you can see right here, we miss a shot with Pat Williams. He's going the other way, and I try to quickly switch to my zone, and it's hard for them to run to their spots, right? Pat Williams is my 4. He belongs on that right wing, right? DeRozan and Lavine are everyone is basically out of position except for maybe Lonzo. And right here, right, we give him an open 3, and this is gonna happen often in a transition setting going the other way. If you miss a shot and he's going the other way, you're gonna give up jump shots, like I said prior to this. All right, here's another example, right, where we give up a jump shot. Basically, if your opponent is patient enough, sometimes this will happen, right? Your zone will break down. Eventually you'll make the wrong read in trying to play the passing lanes, right here he's patient. He attacked the middle of the zone, which is smart. And right here, I didn't switch to the right guy. I switched to Lavine. I should have switched to DeRozan. And I was almost there in time. If I would have just switched a second or 2 earlier, this wouldn't have been a wide open shot. As you guys can see, it's an 8% covered. It would have probably been more like a 36 or whatever if I would have just known and switched to the right player earlier. All right, y'all, for this final clip, I'm kind of just going to recap everything. So again, your 2 guards up top, your 1 and 2 guards, their jobs is just to really get bumpy and start off the defense, set the tone by applying pressure and getting bumpy. Like I said, your 3 and your 4 wings, their job is just to play passing lanes, and your 5 holding it down the middle is your center. His job is to really just rotate up if needed when all else fails, and just get rebounds, obviously. So right here, I'm gonna kind of let it play out, right? So right here, we weren't in our zone for some odd reason, so I'm just playing passing lanes because we're in the half court, right? In the half court, you really just your job is just, once he gets across that half court line, you just got to play the passing lanes, and it's usually on the weak side, whether it's your guard or your wing. And right here, we almost get that steal. We don't get it this year. I'm telling you, it's a little bit harder to get steals this year. However, it's still possible. As you guys can see the score, I was really able to speed up the whole game, right? And right here, he's playing too patient. We force a bad shot, and y'all already know quick shots lead to league outs. We're going the other way for a bang out by Lonzo right here on his head, and I believe he's had enough. Yeah, score is 42-19. And I'm telling y'all, if you guys just apply pressure with your guards and just play passing lane with your wings and just play passing lanes in the half court, do all those things, y'all, I'm telling y'all, y'all get easy dubs and get your opponents so frustrated and get them to quit, y'all. All right, y'all, that is going to conclude this 2-3 zone blitz defense tutorial. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down in the comments down below. I'll try to get back to y'all to the best of my ability. But all right then, y'all, that is going to wrap up this video. Hope y'all dig it. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. As you're on the road to 1,100 subs, it is completely free and it'll make my day. And as always, I appreciate every single one of y'all, and much love.